let's start about your business. I would like to know, dive a little deeper about the understanding of what your business is about. How is it helping the students grow, and what was your vision about your own business at the moment?
See, we are in the business of, I would say, making a true impact and focusing on transformation
Mm-hmm.
in the way training, consulting, mentoring is provided to uh, the FMCG fraternity in particular. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so uh, doing this, being in this profession for the last more than 12 years, 13 years now, what I have observed is that there are trainers, there are people who do a lot of training. People who are interested in training also, they receive a lot of training, but the true impact is not happening somewhere. So we want to create that impact by doing certain things which will give results. So we are more focusing on result oriented. So in our business, we do everything that will help us move towards that direction and giving results. So we first started with as a training organization. So we trained a lot of people in the FMCG companies. Then we found that after the training, people really don't take it forward in execution and all this stuff. And then we started, making training a little bit easier. We introduced video-based training and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, it improved, but not to the extent we wish to or we love to. Then we started our consulting, where we, given a complete handholding to the client to how to do it and where to do it. So that is the start of our consult. Because a lot of people also started telling us that this is training which is good, but then how to take it forward? Please help us in taking this training forward. So that consulting evolved from there. And now we are also getting into mentoring. We are already into mentoring, where we are helping students develop the understanding of FMCG business. Whoever is interested, understanding their FMCG business, and then how do they actually integrate their career with the FMCG world. So that is where we are helping.
Okay, so that kind of speaks about your expertise in this FMCG sales management. So, what is the target audience that you were catering to when you were drafting this book?
So for this book, the target audience, basically, if you see, this is right from person who does not know anything about FMCG, who is just a beginner. Because in my experience, I have seen a lot of people who are into this FMCG sales for the last probably 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, but still their basics are not clear. So this book is a platform wherein they can really, refresh their basics, understand what is what. Even the basic concepts are not clear with them. They would be doing a lot of sales, that is different, but understanding the business, understanding the concept is indeed another part of their journey they should be taking care of. In this book, we have addressed everything, right from the basic to advanced level of FMCG sales, where we talked about distributor management, inventory management, how to do it. And we have, also given case studies of, consulting assignments, what we have already done with our clients, so that they can understand how to use that knowledge in the practical world, how to do it practically.
Okay. So it's for everybody who is associated with FMCG and needs to
Yes.
understand the basic concepts.
Yeah, so basic to advanced. So everyone who
Basic
can,
to advanced.
who wants to learn everything about FMCG. And we have kept the book very short and very to the point, without getting into too much of, I would say, yarn, just putting it in perspective. That is the reason why I have named the book Toolkit, so that they can quickly use it. It is more usable. So they can just carry the book in their bag or, wherever they are going, so that they can refer to it and use it anywhere and everywhere they wish to.
So what kind of research you had to do while you were working on this book?
See, research, I would say, is my work. So whatever work I had been doing for past so many years, So I have around more than 22 years of experience now. So all that experience has actually gone into this particular book. And whatever I have understood from our consulting assignments, see, training is one part of it, but consulting is like building organizations. So what I always say that we are into the business of building organizations, not building brands. A lot of people say we are building brands. No, we are not just building brands. We are building organizations, which is far ahead of building brands. Why? Because we want to ensure that we develop the business aspect of it, the people aspect of it. Then we develop the vision aspect of it for the organization so that they become sustainable and profitable at the same time. If the business is not profitable, it will not sustain. So the right kind of people doing the right kind of work and creating the right kind of environment is very, very important for any sales function to survive.
Okay. Uh, what was the process of writing this book like? I mean, did you spare an exclusive month or something, or were you working on a couple of pages every day? How long? Like, what was the stretch?
See, if you talk about the process or the steps, it all starts with what you want to communicate. Because I receive because of my YouTube channel, I receive a lot of inquiries from people also, from the subscribers, from the viewers, that this is what I want to learn, this is what I want to know. And everything cannot be put in a YouTube video because it is more elaborate, and I don't want to make the videos very long and all those stuff. Though we have got separate online courses which are running on your platform, but this book is about ensuring that if you start from zero, just with an idea, because if you see, beginning of the book, I've created a character who is very confused about what product to launch in the market. So I started with a lot of, a bit of fiction, and then went into a lot of details. So that fiction part actually sets the context that this is the kind of person who is confused, who doesn't know where to start from in FMCG, and step by step how he goes into first identifying the understanding the categories, then how to take that product to the market. So that is where the GTM comes. When you start taking the product to the market, then you have to appoint a distributor. That is how the distributor management comes. Once you have the distributor, you need people to manage all this system. Then that's how the roles, accountabilities, measures chapter comes. So all these chapters are basically steps which will guide any person who wants to start from scratch into developing that entire business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very well. Are there any particular chapters or examples that you have quoted in the book which you would like to talk about? Anything specific?
See, every chapter is equally important, but what I feel is that uh, when we are talking about people, the roles, accountabilities, measures. I have seen a lot of FMCG startups. So because we do a lot of this consulting assignments for FMCG startups, I have seen a lot of FMCG startups. They are good. They have got very good products. They have got understanding of the market and everything. But they are not able to drive results because of their poor people skills. Because the way they have created the roles, accountabilities, measures for the people, that does not support their vision. So I always say that, yesterday I was in the market, last 2-3 days, I was in market work for a company in Goa. So that, that is where I was, talking to this person who is a senior manager in the company, that once we, get into a project, a lot of people leave the company when we get into a consulting project, because earlier their roles, accountabilities, measures were not fixed. They were not reviewed properly. They were not asked the right questions. So they got into a sort of, I would say out of shape. They got out of shape because of certain framework not available within the organization. So when we take up the assignment, we put that framework, that good product is good, understanding support is good from the company, but how to execute, How to do, what to do, when to do, when the rubber hits the road, that is where we want to make an impact. So that role accountability measures chapter, I think, should be something uh, which is of great importance in this.
Mhm. Yeah, people do have some resistance to change, and that can be felt everywhere. We are, very adaptable, and comfort is something very lucrative. And once we adjust into it, it's very difficult to get us out of it. That's a common problem we obviously feel and face everywhere in every organization. So, how do you particularly cater to that?
See, when we have certain challenges, because people, as I said, that they would be practicing certain things which might not be correct for the business over a period of time. So we get into a change management mode, because certain people who does not like change or does not want to change or feel that this is a threat to them, they will definitely leave anyway. So that is a given. But those who want to change, want to develop, want to be with the organization for a long period, help the organization, help themselves grow, those are the people whom we are more concerned with. So those are the people we help, we groom, we handle, we monitor, we pamper also at times, and help them grow up the ladder within the organization. So there are organizations whom we started interacting. When we started first interacting, they were a team of probably 2, 3 people. Now they have grown to 20, 30. Some organizations have grown to 100. Some organizations have really expanded into different geographies. First they started in a small town or a city. Then now they are in multiple towns, multiple cities. So they are fast expanding. Once you have the role accountability measures framework, then it's easier to grow. Now, see, what happens is, especially I'm talking about in a family-run business in FMCG in India, as long as the business happens around the entrepreneur or the founder or the owner of the company, he is quite comfortable because he can cat hold of everyone and say, you sit down, you tell me what you're doing. But if the person is working in another city, another town, he doesn't know when he is going to the market. He might have an app also installed, but that doesn't guarantee that it is getting monitored, it is getting used. So if the process system framework is not there, it can easily lose control of the entire business. So that is the main challenge why businesses are not able to grow beyond their geography. And that is exactly what we want to do. We want to help them establish that framework. Change will happen. We will keep the right people in the system and help them grow as well as the organization grow.
Yeah, change management is itself a big change to take care of and quite a daunting task.
Yeah.
So having to face that kind of a change on every level. I mean, when it is superficial, even it's still okay. But when it comes to the team level, it becomes a little more pressuring for everybody. So, what are the top three challenges that this book addresses?
See, the first challenge which I feel is that the the basic aspect of FMCG business. Sometimes a lot of companies are doing a lot of things, but they are not sticking to the basics. So when the basics are right, you can build on that. So one is the basics, which are not, I would say a lot of people does not understand the fundamentals or the concepts. That challenge that is the first challenge. The second challenge is when you want to take your business, scale up your business, take your business to different location, different geography, how to scale up. For that, you need robust processes. And this tool, there are Excel formats which are there in this particular book, which will help people really use it like a reference book. They can open and see, and they can create the reference Excel format in their system, and they can start using it. So that is the second challenge, because sometimes people does not have the tools. And third challenge that I am addressing is how to use all this. First is the knowledge, then is the tool, the framework, whatever the execution part of it, and third, how to use it in the practical life using the case studies that are given, how we have used it, how we have, because see, knowledge is knowledge. But if you read the case studies, you will find that the knowledge has not been used as it is. Basis the situation, basis the scenario, how we have modified, we changed, we have taken the concepts, but we have used it or adapted it for that situation. So that is the part which are the three challenges that we have.
Yeah, sure. So, is there any moment that is remarkable that has become a memory for you while you were working on this book, and something happened, like maybe you were working on a particular chapter and you thought of some task that had happened, like some experience from your past, and it became an illustration in the book. So, are there any interesting elements like that in the book?
Yeah, see, the most interesting element, what I would say is, creating that flow. I because sometimes you feel that you should start from things which are easy, and then you go, as people read the book, it should get into the difficult concepts. But I have handled it in a different way. I have handled it in a way so that any business owner or an entrepreneur who wants to start a business can go step by step. So the interesting moment in this is first, getting that flow right. So I have spoken to a lot of entrepreneurs and startups and managers and business owners, and this is the flow which I found that which suits the best. Another interesting thing about it is that when I started writing the book, I thought it will be very easy because I have got all the knowledge and I can write and I can complete the book in probably a month or 2 months. I know, what to write, so I will just write and complete. But when I actually started writing it, I found that it is so difficult. Being an author, being a trainer is a different, being a consultant is a different thing, but being an author is a different thing. Whenever I wrote something, I thought that how can I make it easy, understandable? Because when I'm speaking to you, I can easily tell you what I feel. I can, I can communicate. My body language can communicate. You can understand how I'm feeling while I'm talking about it. But when it is in the form of a book, the reader is not able to see me. So putting it into words, putting the my emotions and feelings into words, creating that understanding that how I want them to read it, that is where I found it very, very interesting, as well as complex, as well as challenging. So hope the readers will like it, whatever. Definitely I will wait for their feedback so that I can improve on myself.
It's definitely an amazing read, and I really wish you all the best for the book and the more which we will obviously be drafting in future. And it was such an amazing session with you, hearing all about the book, how it's going to help the people and understand the nuances of FMCG in depth. So thank you very much for giving us such a beautiful book to understand these notions very well. And we look forward to many more.
Thank you, Hardeep. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.